Hello, my friends, and today they are guests in studio Saskia Pfaeltzer. Thank you very much for welcoming us here. And Saskia is very interesting Dutch artist and very wide perspectives of art. And today we talk a little bit about your experience and art. And for me, it's very warming when I have a possibility to talk with the artist because I'm learning all the time. Thank you very much. And
welcome.
How did you start? What is my first question all the time? Just how did you start with art?
Well, as a child, I was always drawing, and my father, he collected the envelopes of the bank and of the friends he had, and he stacked them all in a big basket. And I was allowed to open those envelopes and to draw on every envelope. And I still have a whole map of when I started at 3 drawing already. And every day he put the year and the date on the drawing and what I meant by the drawing. So I have a whole collection of actually a diary of my drawings. So that's how I started to draw, and I never stopped drawing.
So it just was organically, just from the...
organic, that's the way. That's how
great,
it was.
great. And how did you establish yourself as a professional when you find out that it's your passion?
Well, actually it wasn't, I didn't want to become a professional artist at all. I wanted to become a dancer. So I started as a dancer, but I wasn't really into it. I wasn't really developed well enough mentally. So I switched to the art school, and there I thought, well, this is going to be my way of doing it. And slowly I started to earn my money with it, and then I thought, well, then why have the basis.
So it was also organically, just people find out your art and welcome with some projects. But you said that you also as a dancer. And you still dance. And you still
not
perform.
anymore, but I danced throughout my lifetime really a lot. But now, the last 10 years, I don't.
What kind of is it?
A modern dance.
Modern dance.
Yeah, modern
so it's contemporary.
dance. Yeah, contemporary stuff. Yeah.
And you do some also scenarios. So I see some pictures, and you just make a kind of pictures for dances. So you also make a scenario of it, or?
Yeah, it's the movement of the human body is always interesting for me. I'm always fascinated by what you can express by just a movement and without words. So dancing is always very close, still very close to me. So I started to make backgrounds, you may say, sets for the theater, for the dancing.
So it was like decoration also?
Decoration also, yes. And I used to live a long time many years in the tropics, in the Antilles, and that's where I started to dance myself as well for the Latin American dancing. And there I started to make the sets, the backgrounds for every year a huge stage. Made by me.
This is also why you maybe later on, when you find out that cardboard is a good material for art. It was at that time or later?
It was at that time because I was on the islands, and on the islands there was hardly any material.
So we're limited to
limited. So I went to the bin and I took some cardboard out of it, and I started to paint on it and to move it and to make houses, make everything out of it. Cupboards, a lot of things. Actually, it was the only material I had.
It's incredible. When I just firstly passed when Tineke arrived to your place, I just was very amazed at this idea. Basically, make something from cardboard. It's incredible. So same time it's responsible because you use which no one needs actually, and at the same time you use it as a material, give it second life. And it's easily. But I want to ask about the dance more, because what I see from your art that you also want to show this move in your art, because you also most of your art is very, how to say, living. It's not like
lively.
Lively. So you just want to show up how it's smooth.
Yes. And how you can express your mental, your state of mind while moving without saying. You can say, I'm sad. But if you really want to express it, then you have to move to make a movement.
Do something.
Yeah.
Not like sitting and so it's emotion. And also you have so wide range of projects and materials you work, and also you work with ceramics a lot. And how did you get in touch with China?
Well, that was because I started out as a sculptress. So that's making portraits, making sculptures, and casting them in bronze. And I did that for 30 years, you know, going to the foundry, and really I'm able to actually I casted every piece of bronze I did myself to lower as well the price for selling, you know. But then the bronze price went up. It became harder and harder, and there was a crash in the market. And so I thought I have to figure out another material, and so I came to the clay, which I was not at all familiar with. And then I thought, well, I have to do a course in clay, how to manage clay. And then I thought, it has to go faster, and I have to go to the heart of the porcelain, the heart of the clay in the world, which happens to be Jindazen. So I went there, let's say 12, 13 years ago, and I took a plane ticket. Just go. I took a plane ticket. I didn't know a thing. I didn't know what to expect. They just dropped me out of the plane, and I landed on a football field with grass. And I was the only Western person there, so everybody knew. Hey, there is a big, tall lady from the north just landed, and
no Chinese.
Only Chinese people, but not a Western person.
Yeah, I just said that you didn't speak Chinese for that time.
No.
And how did you discover?
Well, then I went to Sambao, to Jindazen, which is the heart of the porcelain, and they gave me a table. And they gave me a bed, and the bed was really hard, but it doesn't matter. And I started straight away with the clay, and I was hooked. And I stayed there for 2 months.
Wow.
Yeah, I really lived there, and it was one of the happiest moments in my life.
Wow, great.
Yeah, I was really happy.
So it just became a very big connection.
With the persons over there, and they, of course, they liked it as well. That is, if somebody is just, vulnerable by himself, being there, and only want to know everything about the clay, then you become attached to that person. And so they became a little bit attached to me as well.
Because for them it also kind of new experience.
Yeah.
Some Western lady arrived here for discoveries.
Out of the blue,
Yeah. So for them it also like great changing of experience, of views.
Yeah.
Because what I see in China now, and maybe not now, like 2 years ago when I was there last time, that they also, there's a, how to say, both sides influence. They have some Western influence, at the same time they transform it through Chinese view, and I seen that in China. But when I came here in Netherlands, I just was very inspired by you and Tineke and all the friends who had this Chinese experience, and at the same time transform it through your Western experience so far. So it's brings something completely new. Yeah. And what do you think? What is best benefit from that experience for you? For me, it's I always like to go abroad and not to stick to my Dutch roots. So I traveled a lot during my lifetime, and I actually lived in a range of countries. Went back every year for 11 years, 2 months in China, and I discovered myself in a new way. So just rebuild yourself. I rebuilt myself in a new way, which is wonderful. For them, for the Chinese workers who worked with me, it was a kind of the same, because sometimes they don't know a Western person, how to behave, what kind of jokes do they have. The fact that I was actually living there for 2 months, that gave us, both of us, the opportunity to really look at each other, which is nice. It enriched me enormously. That's great. That's great. And also feel the same, and then I also spent so long time there, but for me it's great to hear the same feelings what I had there, because it's difficult, sometimes even difficult to express.
Yes.
Because it's so wide. It's just you change it. You say like rebuilding yourself is something really like that. It's not like some tricks or some skills. It's not like it's totally, even mentally you adapt it a little bit to a new world, because it's like separate.
Yeah, you come a little bit a new person, but you have one advantage, is that you are able to really actually talk Chinese. I'm very, very jealous of you. Very, and I'm trying to do it, but I'm not as fluent at all.
It's very difficult to learn, even for me, because I'm started almost 12 years ago with learning.
Yeah, okay.
And at that time it was much easier. But as older I came, became difficult. It's really difficult.
You started already 12 years ago.
Yeah, 12 years ago. With learning.
Really?
But still learning.
Why did you start to?
I just because I need to buy some tea. First, it was actually my first trip. Was absolutely similar what you explained. I take my family and we travel to Uishan Mountains, and I spent there a little bit longer than 1 month. And my Chinese was absolutely nothing for that time. I speak very little, but it's nothing. And it was difficult. But now, of course, it's something, and it's like world which you can open and open more and more. But back to your story, because I just mentioned tea, but you said that your father was into tea.
Yeah, my father used to be into tea. My late father, because he passed away a decade ago, when he was a young man, and he's from 1906. That was his birth. Yeah, really old. Yeah. So he went to Indonesia, and as a young man, he was into tea. And he had a farm there, and every morning he told me, when I was a tiny little young child. So
you also used to live there in Indonesia?
No. He as a young man, he used to live there. And then the war came, and then he was in a Japanese camp over there. So he had a hard time. But before that time, he told me we used to get up at 6, and then I climbed my horse.
Wow.
And we rode through the fields of the tea, and we checked it. And I still remember in my childhood huge wooden boxes to pack the tea. Did you have these boxes? Not. I had these boxes, yes.
With tea?
Yeah, with tea. Yeah.
Wow.
But not anymore, of course. Not anymore, of course. Because no.
If you have it now, you know the price.
I would have been a millionaire. Yeah.
Because it's old tea. It's very valuable. Aged tea.
Yeah, but he wasn't very good in enjoying the tea, because he was a bit stingy, and he warmed up the tea for days. Then we had to drink in a little cup, and he put it on the fire, and then it was days old, and then he warmed up, and then you had to force to drink the tea. Terrible.
Because it was not tasty tea, maybe. But actually, Indonesian tea, I think they use Indian style of manufacturing, not Chinese one, and this is why the same as Seychelles. I was a very funny factory on Seychelles Islands, and they have a Sri Lankan machinery. And I think maybe they have in Indonesia same way of manufacturing. So this tea maybe was not very good quality. So
but he wasn't into the quality of the tea. He was more into the diseases of the tea.
As a biologist.
As a biologist, he had to check on the diseases, because the moment you have a disease in your tea, then you have then the whole market can be demolished, because it happened with the coffee. Coffee was a little worm, I think, or germ. Well, the whole coffee market fell down.
Even now,
collapsed.
I heard that like 2 times or 3 times the price grow for the coffee.
Yeah.
But it's good for us.
It's good for us, of course.
Sorry, coffee. Coffee, guys.
Yeah.
Because you work with so many different materials. What does inspire you much now?
Yeah, at this very moment, it's the cardboard. The cardboard is interesting because of the climate problems. We are demolishing the globe, and we are buying too much, and we are having too much garbage. Everybody has every day almost a big bag of garbage. How is that possible? Because you don't reuse what you can reuse. And it's not that I have a message or a belief, but it happens.
You just feel it.
I just feel it. I just feel it that you can reuse the cardboard for anything. You don't even can use it for making art, but you can make a cupboard, you can make a table, you can make a chair out of anything.
Even the furniture.
Yeah, so and make sure that it doesn't get wet. If it doesn't get wet, it can remain for years.
Actually, I really respect this idea and this concept, because I can't call myself very responsible in recycling, but what we're doing by a company in Russia and here also, we collect all the cardboard, we never throw it away, and we try to reuse it as more as we can. For example, when we supply it to our franchisee, we send it to them, they collect it, and we get it back again. And the same in the big cities, if we supply few tea clubs, we also collect again and use it as still can be used, we use it again and again. But some clients, you send used cardboard to me, but I explain, sorry guys, but this is not, it's not dirty, just use it, but we didn't buy a new one, we can use it next again.
Reuse it,
it's easy. And what I like that people more understand that, and also it's good for company because we have some economy, and at the same time we save planet in a little way how we can do that.
Yeah, it's a message to the public as well. And there's another thing which is nice of the cardboard, it's challenging young people to try their creativity, because it doesn't cost a thing. So you can start cutting in it, and you can start playing with it, and you can start doing anything. And if it doesn't work out the way you want it, you just reuse it, or you just, it's more challenging than anything else.
So you just
paper, it can be costly. Cardboard, it doesn't cost a thing.
You can just easily go out and just
gather it. Every corner of the street we have a whole load of cardboard.
And I'm interested about because we see it nearby these portraits of people, and can you tell a little story about this?
I used to have
collection.
I used to live a long time on one of the islands of the Antilles, and it's called Sint Eustatia, Sint Eustatius actually. And it's a very tiny little island, and it's Dutch. And every year we went there in January till February, something like that. So I started to do every year drawings, and this particular year I drew the man on the island, and the other year I drew the interior of our tiny little wooden house, and the other year I used to draw the goats. So this is a collection of the man from Sint Eustatius.
So this is
really portraits. And when I look at the guys, then I still remember who they are, like that fellow with the yellow teeth. And this was a butcher. A butcher, and he told me to. He slaughtered the donkeys, because you have white donkeys and you have black donkeys, and actually the black donkeys were better taste than the white donkeys. So that's my life in the tropics.
So you just go to a new place and create something which surrounds you and just interflect something. Reflect. You still what I like that I think for my view the perfect artist all the time searching for something, and which is why when you told that I will create the best performance will still in. So just always
in the near
progress.
And it's true that I try to renew myself, because the biggest nightmare of an artist is to get bored.
Just start off.
Again a bronze sculpture. No. You have to really,
to be amazed all the time. Just
every day you have to be amazed of what you make that day, what you're gonna make that day. That's for me a challenge. That's for me. And till now I'm doing not bad. I'm doing quite well.
That's good. Thank you very much for interview. I really enjoyed your story, and
I enjoyed very much
hope
talking
you get
with
back.
you.
Thank you.
Okay.
Great.
Thank you, Sergei.